So yesterday we have started off with this Python database connectivity concept. Just to recap what we had yesterday, we understood importance of databases, right? So we have understood importance of relational databases, in which we understood some chord rules, and we have also understood Oracle importance in terms of market share. We have understood 12c release 1 or 2 is what we need to work on, which is cluster oriented, right? The latest versions of Oracle. And we have also understood why we need to connect front end languages to database, connect programming languages to databases. That way I have explained you by taking a Gmail ID as example, right? And then how to do in specific to Python, how to do Python database connect Python to DB connectivity is we have understood we have to install a third-party module called cx underscore Oracle. After installing cx underscore Oracle module, you can able to go ahead and perform database connectivity, right? So we have seen 2-3 examples, right? Some examples we have seen. Okay, so if I should say 80% of the concept is yesterday, you have already got it. Now what the CRUD operations we have done in PLSQL, that's what SQL plus, sorry, the same operations we are coming back here in Python, and in just that execute method we will change that statements from create to update, update to insert, insert to delete, and then we are going to see few more examples, right? So that is what we are going to see for today. So let me open idle. Okay, so what I am going to explain next program is, let us try to understand how important is closing the connection. So what are the usual steps you perform in Python database connectivity? Okay, steps usually we perform. Tell me what steps we perform in Python database connectivity. Tell me. First, we establish connection. Second, we create cursor object. Okay, so we create connection object, right? And then we create cursor object, right? And then we execute method, right? We execute method using cursor object, okay, to perform actions at database, correct? Right. Now next what do we do is we close the connection by we close the cursor object, we close the cursor object closing is not connection closing, right? See, connection establishing means you are opening a 200 pages notebook, right? And cursor object creation means taking pencil in your hand or pen in your hand. Closing cursor object means you are putting aside pen. Putting aside pen doesn't mean that book got closed, right? So you need to, we close the cursor object and we close the connection object. So this is actual closing of connection. Okay, connection object, if you close, then only the connection got closed. You have come properly signed off from the database. So these are the 6 steps you perform: establishing connection, creating connection object, creating cursor object, we execute method using cursor object, and we close cursor object, and then we close connection object. So these are the standard steps we follow, right? So what happens if I don't close my connection object properly? Is it really important to close connection object properly? Let's try to understand. This is something like, you have opened a notebook, right? And you have taken a pen, you have written some 3 lines or 4 lines in your notebook, you have kept your pen aside, but you have not closed the book. The moment when you have not closed the book, usually imagine kid is there in your home, right? Your niece or nephew, what they will do, tell me? The chances are they will come to your notes and they will uh, you know they may tear the page, they may write down something, zigzag lines, like usually kids do that, right? And they make mess of it. Correct. So you are going to lose your data. Whatever the 3 lines you have written, on those 3 lines, if they rub it bluntly, right, you are going to lose your 3 lines of content, whatever you have written in your notebook, right? So that is the reason it is always good practice what you have to do. The moment when you have written something, you have to put your pen aside and then you have to close your notebook and take it and put it in your shelf, so that your data is safe. Whatever the 3 lines you have written in your notebook is safe. This is what our layman way of understanding keeping our data safe. Now in the same way, if you don't close our database connection properly, what happens is, you see here, wait, every time new color gets open without my permission, how come? Okay, so one sec. Right? Okay, so you see, from Python side, you are trying to connect, okay, and one sec. The database From the database side, what you are doing is, so first establishment of connection has happened properly, right? And then you are looking for employee data, okay? You are select start from employee, you did. So there is a table with employee which we have created yesterday. So employee table is there. So automatically what happens, employee data database, Python interpreter understood, oh, I have to fetch employee data, it connected and then it looked for it, and yes, employee table is there, it has come in for us, right? And then we have displayed it in the yesterday's first program I'm talking about, right? And we have displayed using for loop, we have displayed all the data in the monitor, okay? In our monitor we have displayed all this data, correct? Okay, Now after displaying also, you see cursor dot close, connection dot close statements I wrote in the code. So after the connection established and connection disconnect also happened properly from the database, and connection establishment, connection close, okay, both are happened properly. Now everything is safe. Now what you did is, next time you did, instead of employee, in you have asked for employee one table data. So first time again connection got, so second time connection got established properly. Now you are trying to look for E1 data, but there is no table of with the name E1. When there is no table of with the name E1, interpreter is expecting for E1 data where there is no data, where there is no table of with the name E1. So now interpreter is very much worried what to show to the Python developer as an output. There is no E1 table, but this fellow is asking me to show E1 table. So what happens here? Imagine interpreter has to this extent. Internally interpreter is trying to search for E1 table. There is no E1 table. Then interpreter has not got guts to show its face to Python developer. What it does is, from between it will jump out to its own city, okay, so its village. So in the sense, it is happening abnormal execution, okay. So what is the abnormal execution here? Whenever required data, whatever you are trying to expect from the database, like E1 table, there is no E1 table. So interpreter don't know what to present in the output, so it is shamelessly getting out from the database and not talking to the Python developer properly. It is abnormally executing. Abnormally executing. Let it go, sir. What is the problem? You may ask. What is the problem? Tell me. It's something like, uh, I think I have told this example some time back, but let me repeat once again. See, we both are there. Let's say, imagine I am your class teacher, and we both have left from, all of us left from our classroom around 4 p.m. And then once after getting onto outside of our college, then what I thought was I missed my mobile in the classroom, right? Then what I did is I gave keys to you. Hey, please go and get my mobile which I left in the classroom. So what you did, you have taken the keys and you went and opened the classroom, and where you have not found the mobile. So you searched for 1 2 minutes in the classroom, so you have not found the mobile. So then what is your responsibility? Tell me. You have to lock the door. As I have given keys for you to open, what you need to do, you have to lock the door, and you need to come back to me, and you should respond to me saying that, sir, I have opened, I searched, I did not uh, find it, and that's how I have locked it, and I am coming back to you and telling this and giving keys to you. So this is what the usual, if you are a good student, usually you have to do this. But since you are not good student, imagine what you are doing. You have taken keys, you have opened the lock, you have searched for mobile, you have not found mobile. Then what you are doing is, you are, without meeting me, or and without closing the door, you are running away from the that room and from the college, from the other entry of the college. So you understood what I'm saying? So basically mobile is gone, that's okay. Mobile cost is like a 10K, 20K, 30K, I can able to repurchase. But in the class, other than mobile, some other important stuff is there, maybe projector or something else, right? Or your class notes or exam papers, something else, whatever, right? So intruders will come, thieves will come, failure students will come, right? And since the door is open, they will do, thieves will come and take the projector and computer, and failure students will come and rewrite their additional sheets by taking the submitted sheets. All kind of mess can happen if you don't close the door, right? So I hope you are getting where from I am coming. The way how you have opened the door, how important it is to get inside, you have to also close the door whenever you are coming out from that place, right? So usually, right, so in your homes also, your houses also, whenever your entire family is going out, 100% you will lock the door. That is the default funda we follow. If you don't lock the door, what happens, tell me? By the time you come out, you know, few things will not be there in your home for sure. Okay, that is the given thing. You can't close it. 3 days, 4 days, to not even 1 hour also, we don't keep our home open and we or just go out like that, right? So the way how it is given thing for us, if you are going out from the home, we have to mandatory lock. That's how when you are working with the database, you have to ensure connection is closed properly. If the connection is not closed properly, it is your mistake. You are going to lose the data that is for 100%. Okay, so this is an exception handling concept we are going to come across here, as your interpreter is abnormally getting out of the situation. So now you as a developer, you have to handle this situation. I hope you are understanding, right? Interpreter should not jump out. Interpreter should come back to your program. Interpreter should tell that there is no table with the name event boss. I'm sorry, I could not able to fetch, but I have closed the connection successfully. Thank you. Okay, something like that. Your interpreter has to ensure things for you. Getting my point? So that's how we are going to see the establish your exception handling stuff. Let me proceed. So every other program in database in real time with exception handling only we will do. Okay. So just to take as Q. So one second. Guys, I hope all your health, family health are doing good. So the day by day situations are so bad. We keeping on here bad news. So have hot water frequently. Try to be on nature, uh, naturopathy as such. Like you don't have food from outside, don't have oil stuff as such. Try to take care of yourselves. So closure by families, we are keeping here. We've been hearing a lot of bad news. So I believe from your end, you're all safe. Okay. So first, I will show without exception handling, and then we'll come back to exception handling. So print connection successfully established. Right now, cursor is equals to con dot cursor. Right, cur dot execute. So as I told you till here, story is the same for every other program. So select a star from employee. So let me close. Employee is a table which we have already. You can also check. So CMD, get into CMD, SQL plus. What happened? Yeah, it took this much time. Now Python dev 1, Python dev 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Successfully connection established. Select star from employee. So we have our employee table, so no need to worry. Let us try to extract that employee data. So rows is equals to cur dot, okay, fetch many. So fetch many is a function, okay, which helps in bringing in multiple, all the rows of your table. Okay, so if you don't use any parameter, it will bring in all the table. If you use parameter, it will bring in only to that extent of data. Okay, I will show that in the next programs, but for let's try to understand. For each row in rows, print each row, print each row. Okay, so you have got all the rows, printed. Now car, so close your pen and put aside. Right now, close your connection and close the book and keep in your shelf. Print connection successfully closed. Okay, so successfully closed. Now you see, control S, let us say, okay, so somewhere I'm storing, so db4. Okay, now let's go ahead and run this. Run module. Oh, so you can't give two aliasing names. So connect, control S, run module. What happened? Oh, sorry, as is what missing. Run module. What happened? Yeah, it is processing. It should not take this much time. So somewhere it got stuck with some challenge. Python dev 1, Python dev 2 database error could not resolve connect identifier. So basically in local host, CL is missing, typo error, local host. One second, guys. Check all. Okay, so you see, control S, run module. So connection, so you understood, right? So this kind of statement helps a lot for you. So point is, still connection established successfully. After connection establishment, error has come. So which many? Oh, these many mistakes I have typed. Sorry, morning, right? uh, run module. Great. So basically, if you see, connection is successfully established, data we have fetched, and then we have successfully closed the connection. So this is how, practice you have to do. You have to ensure of establishing connection properly, because the other side database, what's happening you don't know, right? You are trying to do some modifications to the database which is there in US, imagine, for a time, right? And you are sitting in Hyderabad, and if you are trying to edit some operations, you should get the acknowledgements end of day, right? So that's how this prints helps a lot for us in getting the acknowledgements. Okay, so now what I will do is, so output, you while you're taking this program and output, it is, you say it's like version 1. Okay, so or else you just do one thing, change the table name as employee. Let me do one thing first. So there is no table with the name employee 1, correct? Am I right or wrong? You can see there is no table with the employee 1. So let us go ahead and do one thing. Now second time while executing, change the employee name to employee 1. So what happens here, you see, control S, F5, connection successfully established. But what had happened, you tell me? Database error has come, tabular view does not exist. That's fine, tabular view does not exist. But what also have not happened, you have to understand, print, very important line to execute. Now you'll understand. Control S, run module. You see, very important line got executed or not? No. In the sense, what is the observation? So when this line is not got executed, obviously below lines are also have not got executed. So what had happened, tell me here? Interpreter has come, interpreter has established a connection by taking these details. So that's the reason you are seeing this line in the output. It created these objects. It created it tried executing this execute method. Whenever your interpreter has seen employee 1, it went to database. In the database, it searched for employee 1. When there is no employee 1 data, it has abnormally executed, okay, without doing the proper closure of these files, right? That's how you're not seeing the output of these lines. So this is as good as like you guys are not locking the door and getting out from the place, right? So this is serious problem. You lead to data loss, okay? So you have to, that's the reason you have to always handle the database programs through exception handling. So just take this program first and output with employee one, both you check, and write down in your own words. If I write if I give different name, the table name which does not exist, interpreter is getting uh, abnormally executing. So it is not closing the connection properly, which leads to security issues, data breach security issues. Okay, write down in 2 3 lines in whatever the way you can. Right, I am pausing for a couple of minutes and I'll come back and show the exception. How do we handle this situation? Okay, I hope you have taken the program. Now let me proceed with handling exception in PD. This is version 2. Okay, earlier one you take it as like version 1. Now you take it as like version 2. What the changes I'm going to do is, you see, try blocks you will put wherever the possibility of exceptions comes, you will put try block, correct? So make all these things in try block. Okay, so what you can do is this. These are mandatory steps for you, right? So when you feel these are mandatory steps, you put it in finally block. Okay, so and so what is the except block? Tell me. Except block, what you have to write? Tell me. Handling the error. Okay, so please check the table name once again. Okay, so now let me go ahead and execute this program. Control S, run module. So you see, whenever I gave the wrong table name, what is happening? Wrong table name, employee 1, connection successfully established. Please check the table once again, and very important line to execute. So these two lines are important for me at any cost, whether you do database operation or not, but closing connection is important. So that got achieved for us, right? And so table name is wrong, so it is saying wrong. So if table name is right, obviously, if table name is right, obviously it will fetch the data, and bottom two lines 100% is getting execute is what our purpose to see. So we made ensured whether mobile found in the classroom or not, 100% ensure what you have to do is you have to close the door properly. So that is what we have done now, right? I hope you have understood. Just push the statements in try except blocks, and mandatory steps in the finally block. I hope you don't have any questions here. If you have, please put in the chat. So shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? Anyway, let me move on. Control S. Now let's go and see DB5. Okay, right. So now quickly try to understand. So to fetch specific to fetch limited rows, right? What do we do to read only? Uh, uh, you know, to read limited rows. Okay, so what do? We use fetch many function along with parameter. Okay, so I will just show that with an example. So see, from here on, like, all are simple. Control N, control V, control S. So already I did na. Okay, so DB5 replace, yes, replaced. Right. Wait a second. So connected, connection established, cursor object, execute, select star from employee, right? So what you can do is, if you would like to read instead of what do you call, instead of full table, I want to read only what is the column content, EID ename. So if I would like to read EID and ename only, limited rows and limited columns, right? So you see, rows contains now all rows. Now let me try to close the connection. Control S, FFI. So you see, specific data only you can bring out. Okay, and in this, if you would like to have only few number of rows, what you can do is you can write so few rows is equals to, right, cur dot fetch many of, let's say, 3 for each row in few rows. Few rows is a again list, but with not full, only with limited rows. Print each row. So your few rows you are trying to print. Okay, so but these things must be after, before closing connections. I hope you are understanding, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a separator line just to see the output. Control S, F5. Again typo error. Control S, F5. Hmm? What happened? So cursor object is going to read only for once, is it? Let me check. Control S F5. So basically, you understood, right? A few fetch many of three. Fetch many of three means only that many specific rows it is bringing in. But two times cur dot fetch many is not working. Why? Okay, so my guess is like cur fetch many should call only for once in a program. So what you can do is you can remove these lines and you can execute. So anyways, limited rows and limited columns is what the example we are focusing. So anyways, fetch many you have seen in the last code. So this is how you can bring in the data, right? 1 minute, please take quickly. Okay, so let me proceed now. Control N, Control S. So DB6. Now let us try to understand. You know how to displaying table in ascending order. Okay, in ascending order. So ascend table data in ascending order. So based on salary. Okay, ascending order means you need to take one parameter, right? That parameter ascending or descending accordingly you have to work on. Okay, so how do you do that? Just take the above program only. What I'll do is I'll just see, that's what I said, right? First three, four programs only you have to understand the concept thoroughly. Rest maximum times. Your code I will copy paste is what I said. So basically till execute is the code is same. Now what I am going to do the modification is, so select star from your employee, right? So order by salary, and des is a descending is what you have to use. Is it sal or sal? E sal. So let me give sal, e sal and des. Okay. So now here what you are trying to do is you are trying to fetch the top three people salary rows. Okay, or else you directly do fetch many. So that entire database in descending order it will bring in for us. Run module. So based on the salary column, it has displayed in the descending order. In the descending order. Okay, so that is what observation here. You please understand order by is helping for us in displaying the data in descending order. Okay, so the basis is salary. Based on the salary we are bringing in the data in the descending order. So somebody wants to know who is grabbing the more salary in, so let's say this is a pandemic situation, right? And people wants to lay off people who are taking the more salaries. Okay, I mean companies does that. Okay, so first they do this step, and then accordingly which person is really required for me and which person is not really required for my company, so accordingly they'll throw out. Okay, now let us try to further move and try to understand. I hope you are taking, guys. So slight changes only we are doing, and by the way all these programs are there in your notes with the slight changes, maybe variable name change or table name change only, right? More or like if you attend this class and if you follow the notes, you will have everything with you. Okay, you don't have to worry, right? 99% from the notes only you can find here. Okay, so let's understand another method of cursor object, that is fetch one. Control N, Control S. So DB7. Okay, so Control A, Control C, Control V, Control S. So till here is a story is fine. Okay, so but let me change a few things here. So the question is, okay, selected rows if you want. Okay, so displaying table, selected row from a table. Okay, fetch one. Okay, so now what I am doing is, instead of, so here, instead of for loop I want to fetch the row individually. So for that what I'm going to do is straight away print car dot fetch one. Okay, control S F5, fetch one. So can you see that topmost person who is dragging the salary, the first row? Okay, so I have fetched only first row, only one row. Okay, so no sir, let it be like that. Don't go for order and all. Let's select only the very first row of the table. Okay, Control S, F5. So as per usually, first row is Srinivas, but order by if you put your first row is 60,000. But end of day, it's not about order by. Previous program you learnt order by. Here is what to fetch single row. First item. This is list of zero kind of. Cur dot fetch one. So second row will bring in out. Understanding? Second row. Right now third row. Likewise, you can bring one by one row using fetch one. Fetch one brings in the first row of the table. Likewise, next row, like it will continue, right? So slight change only. So as I told you, again I'm telling portion of logic is the portion of the logic is okay. So this is the only thing which we are writing. Variation for program to program, below 2 lines, above 5 lines, almost 4.5 lines are common for all the programs, right? So that's what it is. Let me proceed. Taken, guys, taken. So we have seen how many? We have seen insert, we have seen uh, select, we have seen. So let's see, go ahead and see update. Okay, so update and delete, these are like dm commands. Shall I proceed? You guys are there or sleeping? Like what? I don't see any response from you in the chat. Okay, only one person is responding. Chalo, let's go ahead and see next program. See, these are all one-liner difference. One point we are going to see in every program. So that's the reason you don't see much notes. Comment of the program line itself is the notes, and if anything is required, obviously I'll highlight. Mm, 1 second. Control N. Control. I am taking a new file first. Let me save a new file, and this is going to be db8. Okay, so what is this program? I'll tell you. First, let me write the comment. Update a row of a table in database. So for that, again, till here story is same, and till here story is same. Is this is the only thing you have to change, correct? So update employee. This is what the table we have. Update employee set. So what shall we change? Will change employee city has come wrong. Mumbai, we have to call it as like Bombay, let's say. Okay, we will change address of 1004 person Mumbai to Bombay. Okay, so how do we do that? Update employee set EDDR is equals to Bombay. Okay, so Bombay, right? Where EID, EID or AMPID? EID, yeah. Where EID is equals to 1004. Okay, so close it, right? Now it got updated, right? So you are doing updation to a table which is in New York, and you are sitting in Hyderabad. Okay, updated row updated successfully. The moment when you see this message in your system, then it is understanding that data got updated successfully. And at last, print connection closed successfully. This is just for our acknowledgement only. Okay, prints does not do technically anything, just for our acknowledgements only. So update employee set to addr is equals to Bombay, where eid is equals to 1004. Run module. So some eddr eaddr. Okay, eaddr, control s f5. So all messages have come for me, looking good. Let's go ahead and come here, select star from employee. But what had happened? Mumbai remains Mumbai only, correct? Mumbai is not, has not become Bombay. So what is the point? Tell me. Yesterday last program also I have explained this only. See, learning is DML commands. Yeah, DML commands. Okay, whenever, yeah, when, let's just write down 1 or 2 points. Whenever we are working with DML commands like update, delete, we also have to use, we also have to use TCL command, that is commit, that is commit. Else data will not get modified at a table level permanently. Okay, at table level permanently. Okay, so so this, just for your understanding, this is like control plus s in Word document. Okay, in Word document, if you don't save, okay, unsaved version, unsaved version output you will not be able to see. You will have to see, the other side person will see only saved data, right? This is like control s in Word doc, right? I hope you have taken this point. Just take this quickly, right? Okay, so let me come back here. Now what I'm going to do, you have to, you have to do what, you put a, you put your pen aside. So this is like, this is like, putting pen aside, right? And this is like, now close your commit, sorry, commit your statement. With the connection object you will commit it. Now control s f5, executed successfully. Come back here. Now up arrow, you see, you can see the Bombay, right guys? Interesting or not, you could able to observe the difference. If you don't commit, obviously it will not work properly. Okay, now let us try to delete one row with another program. Okay, so this Ravi Kumar wants to leave the company. Okay, so obviously from our whole database table we need to remove that line item Ravi Kumar will throw out. So how do we delete that? It's very simple. You see, control A, control C, control N, control V, control S. So DB9. So till here story is same. Okay, so instead of this, what I will do, okay, delete a row from the table is a comment. Delete a row from of a table in DB. A row deleted successfully is what I would like to write. See, small minor changes I'm doing. All these things are same, just that you change your line. Okay, right? I hope you are understanding, guys. So delete from employee where EID is equals to 1003. Just cross check. Yeah, 1003 EID is Ravi Kumar, where EID is equals to 1003. As simple as that. Control S, row deleted successfully, run, run module, row deleted successfully. Let's come back here, and we have also committed, right? So let's go ahead and see. There is no Ravi Kumar now. Got it, right? So how we can able to delete the row from a table from the Python side? Okay, so point is you have to know this basic SQL commands. Unless until if you don't know how to perform this basic SQL commands, you cannot able to work on this concept. Okay, so let's move on. Just take this. I'll take 1 minute break. Okay, so let me proceed. So now let us see. So how many commands we have seen? Just will give a list here. So create we have seen, insert we have seen, update we have seen, delete we have seen, select we have seen. So drop is what we'll have to see. So let's see the drop and then we'll proceed for another concept. So dropping means what? You have to drop a table from the database. So okay, let's create a table from here only. Control A, Control C, Control N, Control V, Control S, DB10. Okay, so first statement is create a test table. This is creating a test table. So creating a test table, my comment is table created successfully. Table created successfully, and test table is what we are creating. So create table test C1 int C2 varchar 2 of 10. Okay, a simple table I am taking, right? Is this is over? Yeah. So 10 got closed here and table got closed test here, and so table created successfully. Now let's execute this. F5. Yeah, table created successfully. Let's go ahead and see. Select a star from test. Super. Okay, so let's try to insert some data. Insert into test. Values of C1 is 100. Okay, so let's say your CSC, one row inserted, so 200. I'm just giving some dummy data. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so don't bother EC folks, let me give EC as well. Okay, and you are always top. Okay, so select star from test. you have a proper table in the database. Now what I am going to do now is, so creating table, I hope you have already taken this program yesterday, right? Just creating a test table from Python. Okay, so this is like only one liner code, rest all same, right? Now what I'm going to show is control S, control N. Okay, so control V, control S, DB11, replace it. Now what I'm doing is I am going to drop the table, drop table test. That's it. Drop table test. Now table dropped successfully. Dropped successfully. Rest all is same. Control S and run module. Okay, so what is saying? Car.execute drop table test, resource busy and acquiring with no wait specified timeout. What, where is the resource busy? Hmm, yeah, so table dropped successfully. Let's go back and check here. Now you don't see your test. I hope you have understood, right? So test data is not there. So the test table, which is of with the three columns, sorry, three rows and two columns, it was, it is deleted successfully, right? So with this, what I have shown you for now, all the CRUD commands we have successfully seen. Okay, all CRUD commands we have successfully executed from Python to DB. Okay, right. So with this, actually, your Python database connectivity concept is over. Now, what I will do is I will also let you know one important concept. So you being a DB developer tomorrow, you have to understand something more about your databases. I'll just try to put that. So now you see your Python program. This is your Python program. So when you allow it for execution, who is coming and executing? Tell me your code, entire code. Who is the person executing your Python code? Tell me. Your sir or my sir or your dad or my dad, or tell me who is coming and executing, which person is coming and executing Python programs? Tell me. Hmm? Interpreter. Okay, so interpreter is the person who is coming and executing our Python code. Very good. So all the logic is being executed by interpreter, and interpreter will give the result. Okay, got it. Now the same question I will ask for database side. Okay, so DB engine, your database is there. Okay, so whenever you are operating these commands from SQL prompt, okay, SQL prompt, you are writing create table, so on, right? Immediately table created, table successfully created message is coming. Am I right or wrong? You just see this. See, the moment, okay, commit complete, here you see the line commit complete. Who is giving this line for me? Who is executing these lines for me? This is also code, right? Somebody has to execute, right? So like the way how your Python code is executing by your interpreter, right? And someone must execute code from the database side. So who is that is what my question. So like the way how Python has got interpreter, like the way your database has got DB engine. So every database comes up with a DB engine. DB engine duty is to execute the database commands. So it will take these commands, execute it. Okay, so effects to the database. Effects means what? Earlier table was not there, now table created. That is affecting, modifying, right? Editing. So I'm saying affecting. It is affecting to the reflecting, affecting to the database, and acknowledgements it is giving in the prompt, SQL prompt, right? Yes or no? In the same way, your how interpreter is working, your DB engine is also working. Okay, now how many methods you have seen till now? Only execute is the only one method till now we have seen. Execute method is what we have seen to communicate to the database. Am I right? So whenever you work with execute method, it does two jobs. Okay, it does query compilation and query execution. Query compilation and query execution, like your interpreter do compilation first and query execution, right? Same likewise your DB engine also, it does two steps. So execute method ensures of DB engine do compilation and DB engine do execution. Okay, right. So what happens is whenever you write execute method, see, I'll tell you, whenever you write execute method, uh, see, from your Python side to the database side, okay, you are connected, and you have sent execute method. Okay, through execute method you are connected, and you are doing one row insertion. So for the sake of one row insertion, it will compile and then it will run. Okay, first time. Now second time again you are trying to insert another row. Second time again execute method is trying to insert one more row. Okay, earlier one row, now one row. So execute method second time whenever you are who is doing this operation? Since the command is coming from the execute method, DB engine is doing the operation. End of day, your DB engine has to work. If DB engine is not working, your things will not get effect in the database set. So DB engine will receive the command from execute method. Okay, and then it does perform your compilation and your running. So whenever it comes across execute method once again, what it does is again for the same command, it will do compilation, it will do run. Again execute command and same insert operation is only you are doing. Again it will do compilation and again it will do run. Right? So multiple times same command it is executing again and again. Okay, now instead, so this leads to actually the concept is it leads to performance delay. Okay, so it executes very slow. Instead, there is another method you will bring in. Okay, so that is prepare method. Okay, another method, prepare method. Instead execute, prepare is another method from Python side we are bringing in. So whenever your DB engine comes across any statement through prepare, it does query compilation, it does query execution, and this query compilation procedure is saved somewhere for the future use. Saved somewhere for the future use. If the same command comes in again, if the same command, let the through prepare you sent insert first time. Okay, through prepare you sent insert for the first time, and second time also you are sending insert only through prepare. So what DB engine does is already for me, uh, in operation has insert operation has come in from me through prepare method. So my compilation procedure I must have saved somewhere, let me utilize the same compilation procedure, and then what should I do is I should do only execution now second time, right? So point is, in execution, if there are two ways actually, you can communicate. One is execute method till now what you have seen. Okay, the other is prepare method, which you are going to see now. So difference is, if you use execute method, your query compilation will be done every time manually. It is not saved. Once if you do, it will not get saved. Whereas prepare method, once if you do query compilation, this compilation steps procedure, it will be saved. So second time it will not take that much of time for you to execute the same operation. Your DB engine acts very fast. So this is fast end of day. Okay, this procedure is fast and this is slow. That is what the summary. Getting my point? So query compilation procedure is saved here. Query compilation procedure is not saved here. Okay, so that is what the story. Let me proceed for that. If we use execute method every time, DB engine has to prepare query plan and query compilation plan, and query execution plan. Okay, whereas if we use prepare method, DB engine will prepare the query compilation plan for the first time, and from next iteration, next instance onwards, it will utilize the saved query plan and ex- executes only query execution, and does only query execution. Okay, does only query execution. Ultimately, if we use execute method, it degrades the performance. That's why we prefer to work with prepare method. So these are the 2 points which you have to write. Let me quickly write down that program. Okay, so quickly take. I may take another 10 minutes. I don't want to push this to. Okay, first let me show the program. So program without prepare. Okay, you see now. So import cx underscore arkill as q. So con is equals to, okay, why I'm writing and wasting time instead. Okay, so import cx underscore arkill as q, right? So connection established successfully, cursor object created, execute. Now what I'm going to do, some changes, you see, select star from, select id from e employee. Okay, now what I'm going to do is for each id in cur, print each id. Okay, now cur dot execute, again I am giving select ename from employee. For each name in cur, print each name. Okay, so control s, so this is db 11 or 12 whatever, f5, invalid identifier, select star from eid, not id, eid, control s f5. So you see, so this is what I'm talking about. First time execute to display id, second time execute method I used to display name. So when first time execute method has gone to the database side, so db engine has prepared query plan compilation, query plan for querying, execution. So that query plan which got created will get destroy all the time, so it has to recreate the query plan again and again. So this is what the problem we are facing the with the execute method. Okay, sorry, where is that? So query plan creates and destroys. Okay, query plan creates and destroys. So here again it has to create query plan. Okay, again it has to create query plan. Understood? So you have understood, right? Two times if I'm executing, two times it has to create query plan. 10 times if I have to execute method, 10 times it has to create the query plan. So that is what the drawback. So it degrades the performance. So how we are overcoming this with a prepare method is what our last program of this concept. Okay, so I will just go ahead and show that program. Meanwhile, you take this. So just that execute method you have to use two times, and two times you are fetching. So let me go ahead and show that as well in the interest of time. Control N, control, okay, control A, control C, control V, control S. So db13. Now the program is using prepare method with prepare method, program with prepare method. So till here story is same, right? You all know that. So you please see now what I am doing is I am not using the execute method, rather I am using the prepare method. Okay, prepare, select star from employee where eid is equals to, okay, so colon no. Now I'll make you understand, don't have to bother about this. So cur dot execute of your none, comma, your no must be, you can give the values whatever you want. So I want to fetch first this fellow data, right? So res is equals to car dot fetch all for I in res, print I. Okay, so now let me write down same steps. Cur dot execute of none. Now let me apply the same for another uh, row. Cur dot fetch all. Okay, so again I'm using for loop to fetch that. Okay, so now you see what I'm going to do is, so connection. Okay, so closing steps I've missed. Let me write down. Cur dot close, con dot close, control S, F5, connection, 1 second, print I. Cur dot, it has to bring in two data for me. Res, res1, res1, control S, F5. Hmm. It's not bringing in. Let me do one thing. Let me comment this. Okay, those who wants to leave, you can leave. I will explain the same program next session if you are running late for classes, but I'll close in another 5 minutes. Let me execute control SF5. So basically my above step is not getting executed, so let me check that. Cursor dot prepare is fine. Cur dot employee where EID is equals to NO. Cur dot execute. So 1 second, first let me check the table. Do we have 103 data? Like foolishly, see, I don't have 103 data. Crazy, right? I'm expecting for 103. I don't have 103. So that's the reason it is not fetching out. So let's go for 104. Do we have 104? Yes, 104 and 105 we have. So let's come out. Control S, F5. You can see that both the statements have come out. So for, so to this this has executed 2 times. Okay, the query plan has been prepared by prepare method, right? We are over, guys. So query plan has been prepared by prepare method, and here what I'm doing is, here I am not reading the direct value, rather I am reading the variable. Okay, I am reading the variable. Okay, so the moment, like when I'm reading the variable, it has to through execute method I have to pass it. Okay, so what had happened earlier, when I passed 1003, that is not there. So when that is not there, none will go and sit in the EID. When none will go and sit in the EID, it will not do any operation. So that's the reason you have not seen any output of these lines, right? So if you give proper ID, right, it will take it, it will put here, and your prepare method will bring in 1004 row only. So DB engine, since by seeing this prepare method, it will prepare the query plan once, and so here is what, once it got prepared, and second time whenever your DB engine come across this statement, so query plan, it is not preparing once again. already prepared query plan it is using for us. Okay, so that's how what we have achieved is performance will be good if you use prepare statement. If you don't use prepare statement, performance degrades. So that is what the lesson, that's what the learning. So with this we have done with our Python database connectivity concept.